Wow, you got here so quick. That was so funny. Okay. I guess we'll actually like go through the tutorial because I've never played this game, so. Let's see. Welcome to Our Life, Beginnings and Always. There are various ways you can customize and interact with the game. This tutorial is an overview of how certain features work. You can read the full tutorial from the main menu to learn about everything in detail. Okay, to start off, the game is divided into 4 time periods called steps. Step 1, childhood, Step 2, adolescence, Step 3, young adult, and Step 4, adult. Our life is further divided into sets of vignettes that take place during specific periods of time. Those are called moments. Moments can be played in any order or skipped entirely. You move on to the next step whenever you want by selecting the summer that summer is ending. Steps 1 to 3 include 5 moments each, and even more can be unlocked by purchasing DLCs. We're broke, so we're probably not going to be purchasing DLCs. Some are out now and other DLCs will be released later on. Oh yeah, I saw that on the Steam store. Step 4 is an epilogue and doesn't include moments. A lot happens over the years that go by, especially in regard to the character you play as. You determine nearly everything about the main character: name, appearance, personality, pronouns, interests, skills, their relationship with major characters, and so on. You can decide to change the details as time goes on, with a few exceptions. Your last name, skin tone, and eye color can't be altered once set. Much of the MC's basic traits are determined on a character creation screen. As the MC grows up, more options become available on the screen. As mentioned, one of the decisions you'll get to make for your character is by selecting a name. You can type in any name you like or pick a preset name. Preset options are called voice names because the name will be voiced aloud by the romantic lead. You'll get to hear him say your name as you play through the story. Oh, that's cute. Only the default name, Jamie, is included in the base game. Hundreds more can be added. I doubt my name would be in any DLC. That's okay. The full collection of names is separated out on DLC. Okay, cool. Each name in the DLC belongs to... Okay. There's a lot of information here. On the character creation screen, there's a cute doll you can decorate to get an idea of what your MC looks like with different traits put together. Now, all things you decide about the MC appear on the doll. Script. Oh my gosh, there's so much information. Like, yeah, okay, this is all great. Basically, there's like, oh, there's all this stuff that you can't play because you don't have the DLCs. Good grief. Okay, your current level of interest will become the new lowest option on the screen in the future. For example, if you decide to be fond in Step 1, disinterest will not be available on... Oh, okay. Basically, choices matter. Interest level has an impact when it comes to physically interacting with Koth. While growing up, things are rather simple. If you get along with one another and have a close relationship, you can choose to touch him, and Koth will occasionally interact with the MC in lighthearted or comforting ways. But starting in Steps 3, touching can become more romantic or suggestive if you're at crush or love. To make sure things go nicely with that, there's extra choice to determine initiative level and bonus. Okay, honestly, I'm reading all this, but let's be real, I won't remember any of it. I'll just have to like press stuff and see what happens. Oh, okay, well that's helpful information. If we decide to date him, then we can't break up with him later. So we can't date him and then be like, oh man, this person's great, let's pursue them. Okay. Isn't only the MC who is impacted by my decisions. He grows up and changes over the years. How he's treated and what he experiences help shape who he becomes in Steps 2 and 3. Koth's personality, appearance, and interest will vary based on what happened in the previous steps. You know what? Maybe I should have just skipped all this and dived in head first and saw what happened. Oh my gosh, you can just design him the way you want him? That's crazy. Okay. Oh, that's smart. They have the options color coded, but it's not like, oh, you know, green choice is what I want to go after. It's like, oh, if it's green, it's like supposed to indicate like the tone that they're supposed to be using, which is really smart because I feel like, you know, like they said, things can be read more than one way. You're so excited. I'm excited too. This game looked good. And best of all, it was free. So blue tends to be casual, straightforward, yellow more emotive and reactive, and green less certain, uncommitted. Wow, I wouldn't have put the colors that way though. Interesting. Hopefully I remember that. So there are hundreds of options in our life, and not every choice menu falls in the line with that pattern. Picking just one color every time doesn't give a gameplay benefit. Only stick to a certain type if that's what you want to happen, okay? It's funny because they're basically like, play the game as you want, not how you think you want for the ending. Okay, cool, let's go. Alright, this is us. This is us. Alright. What is my face shape? I feel like I'm more pointed. Oh, we have brown and dark brown. Nice. How many options do they have? Pale, peachy, olive. Wow, tan, brown. Oh man, they have options. That's cool. Wait, what? Oh, that one's cute. Round 1, round 2. Rectangle. Oval. What are my eyes? Oval or sharp? No. Not pointed. Lidded? No. Sloped? No. I mean, I guess they could be round. I feel like they're kind of oval though. Let's go with oval. Do we have green? Maybe? Oh, there we go. Yeah, nope. It's that one. Once you get home, you're gonna put it on your TV. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Hair front. What's my hair look like? Flowy? Short? Medium? Smooth? Kind of smooth, I guess. Hair back. We can't even see the back. What do you mean? Oh my gosh, that is so freaking cute. Oh my gosh, that's cute too. I can't. It's so cute. What is my hair back? Short, medium. Oh, ponytail. There we go. That's me. Oh my gosh, we can have different front and back colors. That is really cool. Wait, what colors do they have? Just out of curiosity. Wow, they have so many options. This is kind of crazy. I'm like mind blown. Okay. Is that all? Is that all my options for this page? Okay. We can have birthmarks? What are these birthmark options? Oh my gosh, we can have moles! And like, yeah, like a birthmark. Oh, whoops. How do, okay. Scars? Wow, wow, this game is so inclusive. That is unreal. Rosy cheeks. We could have rosy cheeks, how cute! Freckles? Oh my gosh, we can have freckles. I'm starting to wish I had freckles. Oh my gosh, these are absolutely precious. I can't. Hand size? What do you, what? Wait, where are these options? I'm confused. Let's go slender. Oh my gosh, we can have glasses. We can have glasses, chat. These are, oh, I can't get over how cute this whole thing is. I kind of want glasses. I know I don't have glasses, but I kind of want them aesthetically. Let me be a little nerd and have glasses. Okay, if I were to have glasses, what glasses should I have? Circle 1, circle 2, which is almost honestly just looks like further down the nose. Yeah, it's just further down the nose. Rectangle 1. Rectangle 2, half oval 1, half oval 2. Is that all of them? Yeah, it's ovals, circles, or rectangles, or half ovals. And then there's the choice of like closer to my face, which is 1, or further down the like bridge of my nose, which is 2. What glasses should I have? I feel like we should not leave me to my own devices and let me pick. How did it take me back to the tutorial? Excuse you. Oh my god, I can't believe it just did that. Why? Why? Now I gotta redo all that. I don't know why it did that. That was crazy. Now I gotta redo my whole, like, wait, what did I do? Okay, yeah. And then we have brown, and then we had some eye shape. This one, my eye color is green. I can't believe it literally just took me back to the, did I take too long? Is that a thing? Is that a thing? You take too long, it just straight up goes, okay, you need to go back to the, wow, hello. Like, you need to go back to the tutorial. You took too long. Oh my god, what? Why does it keep doing that? Excuse? What makes it do that? That is so weird. I don't know why it's doing that. I hope it doesn't keep doing that. That would make me scream. Okay, do it again. Wait, what? Okay. I was like, did I miss my name? Oh. Don't know what's up with that extra... What? What is going on? I'm not pressing anything and it just like takes me back. What? That is so... What? I don't understand. I swear we're never gonna get this game at this rate, and I won't even know why. Oops. Now I can't even spell my own name. Alright. Speedrun. Speedrun making me. And completely skip, apparently. It was, what, rectangle 2? Was it rectangle 2? I think it was rectangle 2. Okay. Green. Green. It was... Nope. Medium smooth. Okay. Ponytail. Ponytail. Alright. Black. Black. Alright, cool. Next. Da-da-da-da-da. Slender. You know what? We'll skip the glasses just so it won't take me back to the freaking whatchamacallit. Accessory types? I like necklaces. Let's do a necklace. All right. Oh wait, clothing type. I like everything. Everything. Can I click everything? Okay. All right. Done. Woo, we made it. Okay. Summer in Sunset Bird was a special time of year. Your usually sleepy town began to bustle. It was a popular tourist destination, with people coming from all over to enjoy the beach, the weather, and the relaxation that comes with both. The smell of the ocean, crisp and salty, hung in the air, bringing 3 whole months of schoolless vacation with it. Also, feel free to tell me how my volume is, like my volume, the music. I can adjust. Just let me know. During the summer, your moms didn't like you to wander too far outside of your neighborhood, so you knew the area pretty well. That included the people. Families came and went from Sunset Bird, but they mostly stayed and did what your mom called putting down roots. They built businesses, they got to know each other, and they definitely said hello to the nice young kids who waved when passing their stores. Going for a walk around town mostly meant that the familial, friendly residents waved or asked how your family was, or most often just said hello. You didn't really get why they always had to say hi. They saw you every day, but you nodded back at them anyway. You ended up saying hi to a lot of different people, since most of the tourists that came and went every summer were the same ones. You were too anxious to say hi back to most of the other residents that greeted you, but they all knew you well enough to expect that honestly the last one would be me, so we're gonna go with that one. They still smiled at you anyway, and that made you feel a little more comfortable. But today, there was a man sitting on the curb outside of your house. He was sitting with his head in his hands, his whole body slumped over, and you wondered if he was even a real person, or a statue that had magically sprung up from the ground overnight. Whoever, or whatever he was, you had never seen him before. One thing about knowing everyone in Sunset Bird was that people who you didn't recognize really stood out. It was rare for tourists to venture into the residential district, as your mom called it. So, for you, not knowing who a total stranger was set off a lot of red flags. Your moms had a talk with you and your big sister Lizzie about this kind of situation before. You hadn't exactly been listening at the time. You think it'd be okay to talk to new people. They mentioned that some people aren't good to talk to, but other types of people can help you even if you don't know them. You remember that it's okay to run away if you feel uncomfortable. You don't have to worry about being polite then. Let's go with the middle one. You weren't sure about this man yet. Still, you feel a bit scared knowing that he was blocking the way to your front door. But you were pretty interested. You wanted to know more about what was going on. Whether he was nice or not, you didn't want to be bothered. You slowed down, your mind racing for ideas on how to get past him unseen, but it was too late to escape. There was a split second where your eyes met, and you took in a shaky breath. Your eyes darted to the sky, pretending to stare at the bird who was hovering nearby. Hey. His voice startled you and made you jump, but you still didn't look at him. The bird landed on top of a nearby gatepost, and its black feathers ruffled against the gentle breeze. Trying to keep your eyes on it was tough, especially when the man stood up and started to make his way toward you. Not wanting to seem too unapproachable, you folded your arms and stared. Still unsure about him, but willing to be friendly, you offered the stranger a smile. Your whole body was frozen in place as he approached. We're still unsure about him. The man gives a grin of his own back. Stranger danger. Exactly, stranger danger. Oh, but he's a hot stranger. Do you live around here? What's your name? You look the man up and down, taking in his tan skin and relaxed appearance. At least his clothes were relaxed. The way he was acting wasn't. He had sharks on his shorts and a stingray tattoo, and you wondered if he was obsessed with the ocean or something. Hello, Taliolites. I kind of love that. Oh my gosh. I didn't have a fan name, but you know, I kind of dig that if the Taliolites are. While you made your assessment, he looked at you expectantly, waiting for an answer to his question. Yeah, I live here. That sounds a little too sassy for me. I don't know. I live right there. My name's Talia. Great, nice to meet you, Talia. He gave you a broad smile, relief settling on his face. Why is he giving us money? What? He reached into his pocket and pulled out a clean $20 bill. It crinkled in his hand as he held it up to you. Even more confused than before, you looked back at him. Well, could you do me a favor? Nothing bad. Sorry, I should have... Let me start over. He cleared his throat and stood up straighter. From where you were standing, it just made him look creepier. I have a son. His name's Cove. Who's about your age? Cove, that seemed like a strange name for an actual living person to you. You chewed on the inside of your cheek. This guy was definitely obsessed with water. You thought that was pretty cool. Oh, whoops. Ah! I side-clicked, sorry. I mean, answering it as myself, like, this is definitely something I would do and say. He wasn't the only person like that in Sunset Bird. Oh, now he's Cove's dad. He's moved from question mark to Cove's dad. We moved in across the street, see? He gestured toward the house that had been empty for a year, his watch catching the late afternoon sunlight and reflecting off the walls. The gigantic for sale sign was finally gone. You must be Talia Phelan, right? I met your moms earlier, and they told me you were 8, just like him, so... He shook the $20 bill to bring it back to your attention, a hopeful smile tilting his lips up at the corners. Can you try to be friends with the boy? You're bribing this poor boy's... Like, you're bribing other kids to be this poor boy's friends? Oh my gosh, what is wrong with this child that you have to bribe kids to be his friend? Just give it a chance, and you can keep this. He's a good kid. You'll like him.
Do you mind?
But you gotta keep it a secret too, okay? It wouldn't be friendly to say his dad sent you. I am dead. Hello, Phantom. Welcome, welcome. You eyed the man. You kind of felt sorry for Cove. Yeah, did other kids really get their parents to pay for friendships? I kind of feel sorry for Cove. This definitely wasn't the normal way kids made friends. You knew that. What do you say? Want to make a deal? You took the bill. You didn't want the money. You ran away. Okay, we're not gonna run away. Do we take the money? Do we take the money? I kind of don't want to take the money. I kind of just want to be his friend without the money, like without the bribery. We're gonna be good people. We're not gonna... Yeah, I don't want to be paid for that. It's too weird. He deflated enough to notice, but not completely.
Are you sure?
Are you sure? It won't be so bad. Even if it's just for the summer, that'd be enough. That only made this sound more strange to you. Why does it lasting for a summer matter? When it was clear his initial strategy wasn't going to fly, he tucked the bill into his back pocket and changed the request. I get it, you don't have to. Would you be comfortable with he and I coming by for a normal visit? No money involved? Wow, there's so many options here. We cannot answer him? That's rude. I mean, the responsible thing would be to say we have to ask our moms, but I mean, I don't know, we're kind of an independent kid. I almost want to just be like, yeah, you can do that. You know what, let's meet this kid. Let's be enthusiastic and meet this kid. Also, let's be real, I just wanted to see him smile. Look at that. I just want to see him smile. His smile got bigger again. His eyes crinkled at the sides. I'll bring him by tomorrow. I wanted him to meet and greet with the neighbors today, but... Leave me alone simping for his dad, okay? You can't judge me. Let me simp for the dad. Well, I don't know where he's gotten off to. He laughed when he said that, but the way his face looked, you thought he actually wanted to cry. Oh. If you see him, can you tell him to come home? Where is this child? What do you mean tell him to come home? Where is he? You've lost your child. He's got a pink cast and glasses. You can't miss it. I can try. You nodded, not totally certain that you'd find Cove, but willing to look. The man smiled and reached out to pat you on the head, paused before doing so, then pulled his hand away instead. Your moms are already checking around for me. Such a thoughtful group you are. Now I better go look too. Can't put everyone else to work while I keep sitting there. I thought you might come back and... That's not what's important. I have to go. Thanks again, Talia. So much. He jogged off down the street without another word. You decide to check the hills behind your house. Wait a minute. This man has lost his child? Can we talk about that? This man has lost his child. And he's over here bribing other kids to be his friend. What is this dad? I would check around for him too. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The chirping of crickets in the tall grass greeted you, quiet and familiar. From the top of the hill you could see the ocean. As you walked, you listened to the crash of the waves on the shore, and the seagulls squawking as they settled down for the night. You always loved the ocean. It was so much fun. You loved to hear stories about the ocean, about the merfolk and the sea serpents. You imagined living far beneath the waves. Oh, I like that one. Oh, that's in-game, Phantom. That's not Klaus. That's in-game. Yeah, I love the choices this game has too. You didn't enjoy the beach all that much, especially the sand, which got absolutely everywhere. Okay, if I am being real, like, it is definitely the last one. Sand gets everywhere. I went to the beach for the first time, like, I don't even know, like, I think 10 years ago, and I got sand everywhere. I never sat down, but somehow when I took a shower, there was sand everywhere. Be real. But at the same time, I love this second option because it's so beautiful and like kind of like I don't know, like romantic sounding. So that one is real. I'm not making that up. That's real too. Yeah. Sometimes you could almost convince yourself you had seen the flash of a shiny mermaid's tail in the distance. You took in a deep breath. You wanted to try to relax and couldn't. You weren't sure what, but something told you that you weren't alone, so you glanced around. Oh my gosh, he's so cute! Look at him! He's so cute! Look at him! He precious! There was a little boy at the top of one hill, almost completely hidden within the long grass and white flowers surrounding him. His head was buried in his knees, staring ahead by himself. For whatever reason, probably just that he wasn't paying attention, he hadn't noticed you yet. You watched him a minute longer, feeling a little bit like you'd found a deer in the wild. Though deer didn't have green hair, wavy eyebrows, huge glasses, pink casts, sad frowns. Aww. I mean, all of these are true, but we're emoting right now, so. Your heart is melting? Yeah. But this new boy did. You wondered what could have upset him. After a few more seconds, you took a step forward, then another. And then he glanced your way. His aquamarine eyes reflected the light of the moon. You stopped, raising a hand to acknowledge him and show you weren't scary. Are you lost? Hey, Space Cadet. Some of these sound a little too blunt, I guess? It's too much cuteness for your little body? Aw, you'll be fine, you'll be fine. It's the perfect amount of cuteness. It's like all the cuteness. With a start, he jumped to his feet, his hands balling into fists at his side. He didn't say anything, just stared at you in a strange way. He'd been crying. There were traces of tears on his cheeks and his knees, soaking the hem of his shorts, and his eyes were still shining with a few more. You'd obviously caught him off guard. His pink cast seemed to glow in the twilight, though when he caught you staring at it, he hid his arm behind his back. Something the man earlier had said stuck out to you. Cove? Ah. Eyes wide, he studied you. How do you know that? I met your dad. Oh. So, is this your hill? He gestured with his uninjured arm to the patch of grass surrounding you, his face falling at the prospect. I can leave it if it is. You shake your head. While doing so, you also picked out a strand of lint on your leg. What a weird question to ask someone. Oh. He sat back down with a thump, resting his chin on his knees again. Curious about the strange new boy with the odd dad, you sat on the patch of grass next to him. The pure white flowers that covered this hill rocked back and forth gently as the stars twinkled above. The way they dotted the sky made them seem like flowers too. The night wind was cool as it traveled over the ocean and up the hill, chasing away the heat from the afternoon sun. Why are you here? A quiet hiccup escaped Cove as soon as you asked the question, almost like they'd never stop. His tears started up again with a vengeance. My parents, they don't want to live with me anymore. Oh, they don't want to live together with me. Oh my gosh, it's so sad. Poor Cove. The tears fell fast and heavy over his flushed cheeks, sticking in his dark lashes. My mom made my dad leave, and he took me with him, and now we have a house here, and I want to go home. The outburst took you off guard. By the time he was done wailing, Cove's chest was heaving with exhaustion. He sniffled and removed his glasses, wiping at his eyes with the back of his hand before he put them back on again. I hate this place. I want my real life back. I want my mom. I'm sorry. He slipped his hands underneath his glasses and pressed his fingers against his eyelids. Cove wound himself up again for another long crying fit. You felt bad for him, being forced to come here with no choice. You couldn't imagine what it would feel like to live with only one of your moms, but it must be pretty hard. But from way off in the distance, you heard your parents. Talia?
Cove?
Cove? Kids, where'd you go? Cove looked at you, tears still clinging to his cheeks. Don't tell them we're here.
I want to go home.
I don't want to go back to that house. I want to go home. Sorry, I have to. Stretching as you stood, you tilted your head back down to look at Cove. I can't lie to my moms about where you are, you know. And they're gonna tell him. Slowly, Cove stood up with you, still looking a little reluctant. His dad's voice rang out again. Cove, can you hear me? He looked toward the sound of his dad's voice, silent, then turned away while rubbing his not bandaged arm. Sorry, I still don't want to go. Let's see. We could try to convince him. Are you sure? You'd have to stay outside the whole night and sleep on wet grass. Before Cove could say anything else, you heard his dad's voice again, even closer than before. There you are, bud. The trio of parents appeared over the curve of the hill. Instantly, all their eyes landed on you, and they rushed over. Oh my gosh, are those our moms? They are so pretty! Oh my gosh, our moms are so pretty! Both of your moms were at your side in a split second, faces filled with worry. Yeah, our moms are hot! Talia, you're here after all. We'd been at the park to check for Cove and then heard what happened earlier when you met the new neighbor. I thought you might have gone off further away. We're okay, don't worry. Thank God you're both fine. Are you two having fun out here? You looked over at Cove, who was wiggling against his dad's tight hug and pushing at his arms. I love this last option. He's good. I think I'm gonna marry him. Yes, I like him. You nodded, smiling slightly. Finally letting go of his squirming, scowling son, Cove's dad turned to the three of you. Thanks very much for finding him. I really don't know this neighborhood. Good thing Talia knows the whole area so well. Absolutely. We should be getting home now. It's been a long day for all of us. Say goodbye, Cove. Bye. He sounds so grumpy. He's like, bye. The two of them walked off into the darkness, heading toward the neighborhood. You watched Cove's bright pink cast until it disappeared. Tell you what, we'll have a proper playdate tomorrow, okay? Your new friend's dad wanted to bring him by to see you and Lizzie. How's that sound? Sure, can I show him my stuff? It sounds like words. You nodded, ducking your head down. Both of your moms laughed, the sounds overlapping into a warm, familiar chorus. Mommy put her arm around your shoulder and led you toward the path. Satisfied, and more than a little ready to go to bed after your long, exciting day, you followed them home. Oh. Can change later? Wow, we have to choose our feelings already? Dang. What's our face? What's our face right now? Direct? I don't know. Our interest? Well, we're definitely at least fond. We're not indifferent. I don't know. Let's see. Relaxed, direct, or nervous? I feel like I can be all of these things. We'll go with relaxed, I guess. Relaxed fondness. Oh, okay. Yeah, that works. Relaxed fondness. At the breakfast table the next morning, you finished your food faster than usual. Your sister Lizzie had run out earlier to go play, but you'd stayed put. Today, just like your moms had promised, Cove was coming over to hang out. Excited to see your new friend again, Talia? Yeah, I am.
How sweet.
How sweet. I'm so happy you moved in.
Okay.
With that said, are you done with your breakfast? Haha, I don't know, am I? Your bowl was entirely empty, so you nodded. Good job. You should be here soon. Cleanup began, and then, on cue, there was a knock. It was hesitant, like the person wasn't sure they were in the right place. Still loud, though. We need to get a more obvious doorbell. I know. Talia, could you get it? Wiggling out of your chair without really pushing it back, you made your way to the door. Hey, Phelan family! Thanks for having us. Mr. Holden, as your moms have called him, and his son were here. Oh, so we can't just keep calling him Cove's dad? Also, can we talk about how Cove's dad does not look like he's old enough to have a son as old as Cove? Like, bro, explain to me how this worked. I'm just saying, he does not look old enough at all to have a son this old. Cove looked different in the bright lighting of your living room, and when he wasn't crying. With his dad standing in front of him and mom and mommy behind you, you and Cove looked at each other. Pleased to see your new friend again, you smiled at Cove. He smiled back with some hesitation. Could be his little brother. Exactly! This is definitely little brother. Like, oh, there's no way. I'm sorry, there's no way that that's son. But okay. He smiled back with some hesitation. Let's go play in my room.
Okay.
Okay. I love his his actual little voice for stuff. He's like, okay.
Take care.
Let us know if you need anything, you two. Have fun, kids.
See you.
See you later, son. Play nice. Why are you winking? You led him to your room, puffing out your chest a little bit at the sight of your treasures. Oh, we're about to do that thing that all little kids do. Let me show you all of my toys. There were lots of stuffed animals, a cool bed, a window to look out. It was a great room. You hadn't had anyone to show it to in a while, but you were really proud of it. He leaned in a little closer to one of your drawings on the wall. I like this. Me too. I drew that. Thank you. I don't. One of the options was I don't. You're welcome. You smile at him. You were proud of that particular piece of art, and you were glad he noticed it. He turned to look around the room a little more, studying the books on your desk and the pictures on the walls. You started to feel a little bit nervous. You felt the atmosphere was kind of awkward. You were glad for the company. Well, we're relaxed fondness, so I think we are glad for the company. It was nice to have someone new to play with. Then his eyes landed on the tiny box of beach things you collected tucked away by your door. He took a step towards it before hesitating and pointing at it instead. What's that? A hoard of stuff I found on the beach.
Oh.
Do you have any driftwood in there? Dragging the box into the middle of the room, you and Cove flopped down next to it. I think so? Yeah? See? You gestured to a piece at the bottom, still covered with specks of sand.
Neat.
Neat. This is a cool collection. You get the sense from the tone of his voice that he wasn't just saying it to be nice, or to be like Shiloh. He actually meant it. Oh right, I almost forgot. Shiloh's gonna be here today. Shiloh? Lizzie's friend, or like her #1 fan, I guess. Do I have to see? It should be okay. I mean, he's Lizzie's friend, not mine, but you know. Come on, check out my shell some more. I found this one under a big piece of seaweed that had been washed ashore, and you pulled out shell after shell, explaining where you got in each one and holding them up against the light. There were big ones, small ones, pink, purple, and orange. Most of them you washed off in the bathroom sink when you brought them home, cleaning off the sand. Over the past few years, you'd even learned some of their scientific names. The collection was so huge and varied that you had lots of funny stories to tell for all of them. Your voice faltered a bit, but you kept going as best you could. Now we got stories. Apparently fascinated either by the stories or by the shells themselves, Cove listened with what looked like the full force of his attention. Guys, we're bonding. Like when you almost got pinched by a hermit crab while searching for shells, and after watching him scuttle back into the ocean, you found another empty shell that was almost a twin to its home. It was a new experience to be the center of such dedicated focus. But Cove hadn't been mean to you, so you didn't mind. You smiled at him every now and then, while showing him your collection. Kids, come down to the living room. You could tell the idea was making him unhappy, but Mommy wasn't giving you much of a chance to hang out. Cove hadn't been like this meeting you. You guessed it was because he thinks you found each other by accident, not that a parent made it happen. Mr. Holden might be right that telling Cove his dad was part of that would be a bad idea. Before you knew it, you'd both been escorted downstairs and deposited in the living room, ready for Shiloh's visit. The two of you sat side by side on the floor of your home's entryway. I brought the box of shells. I want to keep looking at them. Great. Bust it open. We can keep looking while we wait for Shiloh. Cove reached in and pulled out a big orange shell. Oh. Like he hadn't spoken aloud yet, he turned to you and held it up, his eyes shining. I think this one is the best of them. I like a different one best. I can show it to you. You know what? Let's give it to him. If he really likes it, let's give it to him. If it's not our favorite, well, I mean, I guess it doesn't specify whether or not, I guess we're choosing whether or not it's our favorite, but if it's not our favorite, then we'll give it to him. Cove looked at you in surprise, his eyes going wide. Really? Sure. You like it a lot, right? Uh-huh, but I don't want to take it from you. It's okay. You got the impression he was hesitant to accept something because he didn't know you very well. Do I insist? Do I let it go? I'm gonna be a little pushy. No, it's okay for you. You pushed the shell against Cove's chest, willing him to receive the present, but Cove firmly shook his head and kept his arms tightly at his sides. It was a battle you couldn't win, at least not today. Cove was your neighbor now. Maybe you could give it to him another time. The two of you were still sitting on the floor looking through your collection of beach findings when the doorbell finally rang. Take the damn shell, Cove. Exactly. Like, we're trying to be nice and friendly to you. We're trying to be essentially your first friend here, and you're over here rejecting our gifts. I guess he's just not ready yet. Cove jumped, startled by the sound. Since the person hadn't knocked, you figured it was probably Shiloh. He knew where to look for that. Lizzie's friend? You nodded, but that didn't seem to make Cove feel better. It was already obvious that Cove didn't hide his feelings well. You could tell what he was thinking right away. This isn't a good idea. You'll be alright. He's here. We can't tell him to leave. He's at our only door, and if you go upstairs, he'll find you. Cove glanced around the room, his eyes going wide, and finally paused with his gaze locked onto the back of the house. I can go out the window. He was already walking towards it. Scrambling to think of something to say, you stepped forward, then paused. Do you want to break your other arm? Shiloh is the least scary person alive. Cheer up, Shiloh's gonna like you. Please don't get hurt. I'll come with you. Good idea, let's go. Okay, so we have a lot of choices where we enable this. Let's see, how can we reassure this kid so yeah, he doesn't break his other arm or hurt himself trying to leave? Let's see, maybe we're gonna tell him that he's gonna like him. He likes everyone. I mean it. But I don't want to see him. I don't know him. Teased him, comforted him, encouraged him. I mean, I kind of want to tease him. I don't know what they'll do with him, but I want to tease him. Come on. You're a bigger boy than he is. If things do go bad, you can take him. I guess. Shiloh poked his head into the living room. It was impossible to know for sure if he'd heard what you'd been saying or not, but you guessed that he had. Hi. Oh my gosh, he's so cute too! He's precious, look at that little boy, he's so cute! I want to like pinch his cheeks and pat his head. Just whoosha, 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 whoosha. So cute. Okay. Hi, Talia. And hi, Cove? Cove shot you an uneasy glance. Hi. I'm Shiloh. Nice to meet you. Yeah. You have a lot of freckles. Right. I do. What are you guys doing? We're looking at shells.
Can I do it too?
Awesome. Can I do it too? Cove shrugged, then looked back at the box of beach bindings. Shiloh's in another game? Okay, cool. Yeah. Tell me. Tell me about it. What about that one? The plan for the afternoon, at least as far as you were concerned, was to sit and look through the beach things some more. You weren't really in the mood to do much of anything else, especially if Cove was having fun. Hey, check out this scallop shell I found. Cool, right? It's a pretty color. Kind of like my cast. The beautiful glittering pink did look a little bit like the wrap around his arm. Pink is a nice color. Okay.
Oh?
Is it your favorite? Not really. What is? Thanks for the lurk, Bantam. Maybe green. Or blue. Might be yellow. Oh, those are all cool.
I guess.
Yeah, Cove is definitely not feeling him. I guess. There are better colors. Not sure how to deal with the suddenly more awkward silence. You look back at your shells. Like usual, it didn't take long for Shiloh to get fidgety. Lizzie was his favorite. Without her around, Shiloh didn't seem to know what to do with himself. And Cove wasn't like your sister. He wasn't that much like you either. Is Lizzie coming back? Don't know. Aw. Where'd she go? I think she's at the beach, probably. Wait, so why is Lizzie's friend over and Lizzie's not here? Like, why'd he come over then? Is she playing at her park? Cove's eyes lit up at the mention of the park, and he looked towards you. There's a park? Yep, but it's old. Can you show me? I want to go. He started getting up before you had even answered, and Shiloh jumped up beside him in excitement. Oh, they're bonding over their excitement for the park. Really? You do, too, right, Talia? The park is fun. The park is pretty great. Yeah, it's right at the beach, so there's lots of fun stuff to do, and lots of sand. It has a jungle gym and a bunch of swings. That sounds like it could be cool. So, are we going to find Lizzie? I don't know. I never really wanted to see her. I just wanted to check the park out. Okay, kid. Adrift, without any direction, Shiloh finally turned to you. Okay. He perked up. Both boys wanted to go. It was only fair. After getting permission from your moms, the three of you were ready to head out. It was a short walk to the park. Lizzie had convinced your moms that it was so short, she should always be allowed to walk there by herself. When you found her, she was hanging on the jungle gym, swinging back and forth. Hey, Lizzie! Her face lit up when she saw you, her big brown eyes going wide. Talia, Shiloh! Hi! She dropped to the ground and landed with a soft thud on the sand. In a split second, Shiloh had abandoned you two and scrambled over to stand by her. You were used to being left out when it was just the three of you, but now Cove was here. You wondered if he would leave too. Who's that? It's Cove. He's new.
Hi.
I remember. Hi, Cove. Welcome to my park. Nobody ever comes to play here, so this is where we get together. She gestured widely with her arms as if to present the area to the newcomer. While Lizzie continued talking, you took the chance to kick off your shoes and wriggle your toes in the warm sand. Nice, huh? In this neighborhood, I'm the one who comes up with the ideas. Oh, okay, so here's the little leader of the pack, I guess. You are?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I am. Who else could handle the job? Lizzie is the oldest. By a lot. My mom said you're Talia's age.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thought so. I'm still the only one in this group with double digits. Oh, here I was thinking for whatever reason that she was like the younger sister. Like before we met her, I thought she was the younger sister, not the older sister. Whoops. Oh well. What about other kids? Other kids? There aren't any. We're the only kids here, and Shiloh is just visiting from another place. Not even tourists really bring their kids here. This is the land of ancients. Be careful that the oldies don't try to steal your youth. Oh my gosh. Oh. For a second, it looked like he might cry again. But something in his eyes shifted, and he looked back at Lizzie. What kind of old people? Like moms and dads or grandparents? Grandparents who don't have kids. They hate kids. Why? We haven't done anything. Only some of them. Stop saying stuff like that. You're gonna upset him. Yeah, they're really bad. So we can either go along with it or comfort him. You interjected quickly, hoping Cove wouldn't start crying again. He sniffled, his forehead creasing with worry. Lizzie was staring Cove down, but Cove wasn't even looking at her anymore. He didn't seem to care that she was there. He went into his own head. Shiloh was the next one to speak, completely unaware of the situation. I met Lizzie and Talia in school. You'll see tons of kids there once summer is over. I don't want to go to a new school. I don't want summer to end. Shiloh looked down to the dirt. He hadn't had much luck striking up conversations with Cove. Yeah, Shiloh, you're swinging and missing. Very badly. I like summer vacation a lot too. All the building tension in the air suddenly vanished when Lizzie laughed. At Shiloh's discomfort, at how weird she thought Cove was, at something else entirely you didn't really know, but she laughed, face scrunching up.
Okay.
Welcome to Sunset Bird Cove. Take a seat, put your feet up, and get used to it. Ugh. You offer him a small smile, and that at least looked to reassure him some. For the rest of the summer, Cove was always there. You saw him more often than Shiloh, and on some days, when she was in a bad mood or busy, you even saw him more than Lizzie. He became a staple of your everyday life, the way the sun and lunch and the beach were. During your first summer together, you really liked Cove. He was a fun person to play with, and he seemed to like playing with you too. Of course, that was only the start of things. Aww. Come back before it gets dark, alright, sport? The familiar voice drifted across the street and drew your attention away from the snail you'd been watching inch slowly across the pavement. Cove waited in front of his dad, pushing his green hair back off his face from where the breeze was blowing it over his glasses. He looked to be paying only a mild amount of attention as he was being handed a few slips of green paper. It reminded you of when you first met Mr. Holden, although he's probably not paying Cove to be friends with himself. Cove's dad seemed to feel your gaze somehow, or maybe you made a noise, because a second later his eyes were on you. He waved you over with a smile. He looked happy to see you, but you still felt a little weird for getting caught. You gotta learn how to be more sneaky. You brushed your hands together to free them from sand, then jogged over to join the two, smiling at Cove first, and then his dad. Talia, hi.
How's it going?
Good to see you again. What excitement are you up to today, Talia? Taking a walk. I found a pretty cool snail across the road. There's lots of snails around here. Mr. Holden grinned at you kindly. After you finished answering the question, Mr. Holden's attention returned to Cove, who was preoccupied with folding the bills he had in a tiny rectangle. Sounds fun. You know, Cove was about to hit the stores by the beach. Why don't you go with him? You gave a ready nod, turning to squint in the direction of the stores like you could see the goods they had to offer all the way from where you stood. Oh, is that okay?
Yeah.
I don't mind. Great. I'm sure you guys will have loads of fun. Mr. Holden reached into his pocket and pulled out a leather wallet filled with money. He found it odd since your moms only ever seemed to have cards in theirs. Here. He leaned in to pass a crisp tin to Cove, giving him a wink and a whisper. Get something for your friend, too. Sure.
Good kid.
That's my boy. Cove's dad ruffled his son's hair as he was straightening back up, the bill in his hand still held out towards the green-haired boy. Take care. Cove accepted the bill after a second and slipped it into his pocket. Then with one last nod to his dad, he turned and started walking. You followed after him, intrigued at the possibility this outing might bring. Cove strayed towards the gentle tide creeping up the sand, and you fell into place beside him. It was a nice day. The sun was shining, and there weren't many clouds in the sky, though the wind coming off the ocean kept it from being too hot. You took in a deep breath, enjoying the scent of salt and ocean air. When you looked at Cove, he was dragging his feet through the sand a little, and you slowed down to wait for him. His eyes searched the ground intently. Cove always looks sad, poor boy. I know he does. I hope he will confide in us. And he doesn't. Okay. Nothing. He kept staring down at the ground though. You bit on your lip a little, wanting to say something else, but not knowing what. The comforting sound of the waves filled the silence with pleasant white noise, and you played a little game with yourself as you walked along, getting as close to the water as possible without getting wet. It resulted in you having to run up the sand quickly where the wave rushed in more than a few times, and although Cove threw a few glances your way, he didn't say a word. What do you want to go to the shops for? Let's make small talk then. I need a new sand pail. Yeah? What happened to your old one? Cove narrowed his eyes, seeming to think deeply for a second.
Whoa.
It disappeared. What? Really? Cove ducked his head down, lacing his fingers behind his back. It didn't seem like he was going to continue, so you nudged his arm. How did that happen? Well... Cove opened his mouth, then shut it again, considering. I took it to the beach one day. Uh-huh. When I got home, it wasn't anywhere. You left it there? Nope. It wasn't at the beach when I got back. Then you lost it. It disappeared.
So...
What about you? What do you do out here? I like swimming. I like looking at fish. I like building sandcastles. I mean, I don't like swimming. Honestly, I don't go to the beach a lot. But, I mean, if she were going to go to the beach, then I feel like she would build sandcastles, because she already likes collecting things from the beach, so clearly she goes. Last summer, Lizzie and I built one that was as tall as me, and sometimes they have sandcastle building competitions down by the boardwalk. Cool. I bet you could win. You smile at Cove. Maybe the two of you would build one together one day. Once you reached the shopping area, the noise level grew exponentially. No longer just waves and footsteps, but the chatter of the people enjoying the lovely summer day, the call of the birds trying to find bits of food left behind, and lots of salespeople trying to get attention. You sniffed the air as you walked beside Cove. You could still smell the ocean, but there were other scents now too. Pizza, pretzels, hot donuts. It was nice. The energy surrounding the area seemed to fill you, and there was a bounce in your step as you began looking at all the familiar sights. There were so many things to do, you didn't know where to begin. You looked at Cove, hoping he was just as excited as you were. Cove was glancing from one side of the street to the other and looking in his aquamarine eyes that... Wait, what? Oh, with a look in his aquamarine eyes that you couldn't quite work out. What's that? Cove pointed to a large crowd of people gathered near a few tables with large, colorful umbrellas blooming from their metals. You couldn't see past the adults who were blocking the way, but you knew there must be something worth seeing. Without another word, the two of you hurried over to see what all the commotion was about. Feast your eyes on the amazing Alexander! In the center of the crowd was a man with a tall hat and a funny green coat that had 3 long tails. There was a little table next to him with a cloth hanging over it that read, "The Amazing Alexander" in glittery golden script. Why tell people his name if it's already on the sign? Cove hummed with understanding, then turned to walk away just as the Amazing Alexander began shuffling a few decks of cards. Maybe we could stay and watch? Cove glanced back over at the man. He then briefly lifted his arms up off his sides before returning them to place. You grinned, waving for him to follow you as you raced back to stand in the crowd. With that, it began. The magic man pulled one card out of a deck, showing it to the curious onlookers. It was a 4 of diamonds. Watch closely. You did, squeezing through a few of the adult onlookers to get a better view. Suddenly, the man snapped his fingers and the card just disappeared. Whoa! The Amazing Alexander, who had earned his title, turned his head and looked directly at you. He reached out with a kind smile. What's this behind your ear? Nothing? It was true. You didn't keep anything behind there. He smelled like popcorn and candy when he stepped closer, and you wrinkled your nose in confusion as you watched him. You felt a tug, and then he pulled the 4 of diamonds out from behind your ear. What? You knew it couldn't really have come from your ear, but you still didn't get how he'd done it. There was a light applause from the crowd, and the man gave a deep bow. This is for you. The magician plucked a pair of balloons from a clump of them tied down to the table. Both were in the shape of a dolphin instead of being normal circle. And one for your friend too. Thank you for being my assistant. Whoa. Now you were really grateful he chose you. After that, he went to someone else in the crowd. Pick a card, any card. My uncle does that every time he visits. Not the balloons, the stuff with the cards. Cove spoke plainly while reaching over to take the dolphin that had been designated for him. Cove is just ruining the fun. At least you had a fun time. You wondered if Cole's whole family was magic. At least I had a good time. Saw a magic trick and got a great balloon. That was more than enough to make it a worthwhile event. I can't stop looking at his eyebrows. I know. Like, I don't understand why he has wavy eyebrows. Like, bro, the rest of his hair isn't wavy. Why is eyebrows wavy? Like, get an eyebrow brush, man. If you were my kid, I'd brush his eyebrows. You thought that if you could find a card to practice with, maybe you could make it disappear too. The crowd started to clear some, and you noticed to the side there was a whole rack of brightly colored kaleidoscopes on display. I love how it says we noticed a bunch, like a rack of kaleidoscopes, and then the options are to pick up a kaleidoscope or a Rubik's Cube, a magic 8-ball. Like, it didn't even say any of these other toys, like we saw these other toys, but okay. Let's see. Well, we're not gonna walk past the toys. Let's pick up a Rubik's Cube. Oh, these are cool. Will you hold my balloon while I look at this? Cove nodded, taking your balloon and holding it in the same hand as his own, so you could get a good grip on the cube. He stood next to you and watched you as you attempted to match the colored rows. You managed to line up all of the green squares on one side of the cube, but there were still 5 more sides to go. Deciding that it was something that you should continue another time, you set the cube back on the rack and took your balloon from Cove, who moved to the other side of the stall. He went under the awning, careful of his own floating dolphin, and you joined him. As much as I wouldn't mind asking him if he, trying to bond with him about his old town, I don't want to make him sad. Seems like a touchy subject. I don't know how far we've come in that area, but I feel like probably not very. It hasn't been that long. Let's ask him if he's having fun. He nodded, and you smiled back at him, happy to hear it. When Cove moved towards some stalls nearby, you followed beside him. While Cove looked at sand pails, you were drawn to a table with colorful keychains laid out on it. They were sewn in shapes of sea creatures, and there was a plaque that read, "Handmade," standing proudly in front. There was a lot of different types. You saw a dolphin, a shark, a crab, a turtle. Let's see, out of these sea animals, my favorite, probably, dolphins are mean though. But aesthetically, probably be a dolphin or a turtle. Let's see. I don't know. Honestly, none of these are my favorite sea animal. I would want a ray, like a manta ray or a stingray, but that's not an option. So I guess we'll go with a turtle. Your hand stopped on a sleeping turtle, just barely poking its head out of the shell. It had flecks of metallic green on its back that caught the sunlight when you picked it up. Oh! You remembered the turtles you had seen in a movie. You had been mesmerized by the way they gently glided through the water. You were instantly enamored. Checking the price though, your heart fell. $6. You didn't know much about money, but you thought that was a lot to spend on one thing. Crab, because you're a Cancer? That makes sense. I'm an Aries, so I don't have any sea animal. Rams don't live in the sea. You rarely had more than a $5 bill to your name. Is that what you want? Huh? Oh. It's $6. I didn't bring any money.
Alright.
It's fine. Are you sure? Cove took the keychain from your hands, and that was that. He was holding a small yellow bucket for himself, too. I was always gonna get you something. I already have money for it. You smiled, pleased to have things work out. Yeah, aw, thank you, Cove. It was nice of Cove's dad to let Cove buy something for you too. You had to remember to thank him next time you saw him. After Cove paid, the two of you stepped out of the store side by side, your balloon dolphins knocking together and spiraling around in the air. You watched Cove hold up his new pail to his face, examining it thoroughly. Hey, Cove. Yeah? Your dad gives out money a lot, huh? I really like this keychain. Thank you. It's nice. Cove looked further down the street, where different food carts were lined up. He rested his non-cast arm over his stomach, and just as he did, yours let out a light growl. You hadn't eaten since breakfast, and after all of this wandering around, you were definitely ready for some lunch. Let's get some food. Yeah. You two wandered around a short while, looking at all of the delicacies that were available. Everything looked delicious, and as the different and as the different smells, both sweet and salty, wafted over to you, your stomach growled even louder. After passing up hot dogs, snow cones, ice cream, and pizza, you both agreed on pretzels. Cove got something sweet and cinnamony, and you got a plain one. Got one with cheese. Ooh, I love cheese. So I either love like a plain one with cheese, or I like the cinnamony one with what's it called? The cream cheese dipping sauce. You licked your lips hungrily as the vendor handed your pretzel over, ready to take a big bite. It was covered in gooey melted cheese, just the way you like it. It seemed odd to get dessert pretzel before eating normal food. You found an empty table close enough to the beach that the grit of the sand made terrible noises when you dragged the chairs out to sit down. These balloons are gonna make it hard to eat. Cove placed his bucket on the table as he stared at his still balled up hand that was wrapped around the string. Now you want a pretzel? Me too. I'm like, now I want a soft pretzel. Dang. You opened your mouth to agree before an idea hit you. I know. After carefully placing your pretzel somewhere it wouldn't get sandy, you tugged the balloon dolphin out of Cove's hand and tied it in a delicate bow around his wrist. Oh. Cove bounced his arm up and down in place, testing the stability of your knot. After watching his balloon jostle around but remain attached, he smiled satisfied. Can you do it for me? He repeated the ritual. Cove struggled somewhat, with the cast restricting his fingers on one hand and the string already tangled around the other.
Okay.
Got it. The two of you spent a moment admiring your handiwork, both hands now free to allow easy munching of your pretzels. You bit into the doughy treat, savoring the taste on your tongue with a smile as you looked out over the ocean. After a time, you finished your pretzel. You were done before Cove. It was boring not having anything to do. You pulled on your string of your balloon to bring it down to your level. Then you held the dolphin in your hands, manipulating it to make it look like it was jumping through the air. If you turned to face towards the beach, it almost looked like it was swimming in the waves, like a real dolphin. A laugh came from your side. When you glanced back at Cove, he had left the remaining parts of his pretzel in the wrapper, and he was gripping his dolphin too. Mine's name is Merryweather. He's Prince of the Dolphins. Yeah, he's Prince of the Dolphins. He wears a crown made of seaweed, and all of his friends are merfolk. Every now and then, he'll make friends with a kid and let them ride on his back. You sighed, wishing you could meet a real dolphin like Merryweather. What's yours? Cove considered this question, placing the balloon against the table and resting his free arm across it in contemplation. It's... With a loud pop, the dolphin exploded into ribbons. Oh no! For a second, all Cove did was gape in shock, like you. Then his cheeks puffed up, squinting his eyes, and you saw tears start to glisten. Talia, Let's offer to find Alexander. Maybe the amazing Alexander is still there. I'm sure he'll give you another one if we tell him what happened. I was afraid that if we offered to give him ours, that he would just reject it, like he did the shell. After a long second, Cove gave a tiny nod of his hand. Let's take his hand. You took hold of Cove's hand. He brought his gaze back down and gripped yours in turn. The two of you wandered up and down the street, but you saw no sign of the amazing Alexander. Finally, you were forced to give up. Still, it seemed to lift Cove's spirits, and that was good. The passing of Cove's balloon was the last major event of your adventure. In the end, the two of you headed back late that afternoon. You separated on the beach, and while Cove went straight home with his brand new sand pail in hand, you decided to sit for a while. You watched the waves and the sunset, filling with your new keychain. Another summer day was drawing to a close. It had been a good one, except for the sad final note. One sweltering summer day, you were in your living room with Cove, listening to the sounds of the birds chattering outside the window while you lay across the rug on the floor. Cove's dad had dropped him off earlier, and your moms had left the two of you along with Lizzie to play amongst yourselves. It had been too hot to go outside in the afternoon, at least according to your mommy, so your sister was starting to get impatient waiting for her golf class that evening. Girls taking golf classes? What kind of town is this? You got golf classes for kids? The three of you had trouble finding something fun to do. The beach and the playground were off limits, and you felt it was too warm for anything like playing with your fuzzy toy animals. Then suddenly, a light came to Lizzie's big brown eyes and her smile spread across her face. Having an idea gave her a new wave of energy. Since we're stuck inside, we should be adults. They don't play outdoors anyways. They're always inside and telling everyone they're too busy to play.
Why?
Why?
Duh.
I said why. It'll be fun, duh. What do they do inside that we don't? Besides, use the phone a lot. Excluding a small huff, Lizzie decides to ignore Cove.
What do you think?
Talia, what do you think? Do you want to? Cove said it? That doesn't sound fun. I bet we could come up with something else. But that's what I'm gonna do, and it's not as fun when I play pretend adults by myself. Do you do that a lot? What's it to you? Looking at Lizzie, it seemed Cove felt he could understand where she was coming from, and he sighed. Do you really not want to play, Talia? It was clear he wanted some way out, but still felt guilty about it. Let's keep hesitating. You looked down at your hands, still unsure. Apparently tired of waiting for you to make up your mind, Lizzie sighed. Fine, go play over there, Talia. You flinched from her raised voice. It definitely wouldn't be fun to join now. Me and Cove will do it ourselves. It's decided. He looked back at you regretfully.
Yes.
I guess. Now go on. Nodding goodbye to the two of them, you trailed off to find something else to do. Exactly, Lizzie, he's my friend, not yours. Like you promised, Cove stayed put with Lizzie for the next couple of hours while you watched TV, built a fort, played Godzilla. Let's read a book. You could hear them talking as you sat with a book by the window. You opened the picture book in your lap and immediately got lost in the story. It was about a little donkey who grew up on a farm, making friends with all the animals and pretending to be like them. You liked the part where she swam around in the pond with the ducks. It always made you laugh. You finished that book and went to get another, but before you could choose one, you noticed that Lizzie and Cove's voices were getting much louder. Curious about what was happening, you craned your neck to hear them better. At first, you mostly only picked up on Lizzie's high-pitched shouting, giving orders, telling Cove what to do, yelling about sports and the Olympics. That was pretty typical for Lizzie, so there was nothing new there. But then you started hearing Cove get more and more. You started hearing Cove more and more as time went on. It sounded like they weren't having a very good time. You went to see what's going on. You abandoned your cozy reading spot to go check out what was happening with them. Hey, is something wrong? From up close, you could see that your sister was red-faced and pouting, while Cove mostly just looked confused. Neither one paid you any mind.
Cove.
Shut up, Cove! You're being unreasonable. You... I don't get what you want. This game doesn't make any sense.
Ugh.
It does. You have to be realistic. I said that. But you're not. You worried that the two of them were getting a little too angry over whatever it was. You had no idea what to do to make it stop at this point. It seemed like the two of them would just keep working each other up as long as they could. Had the two of them been arguing like this the whole time? Thankfully, like a greeting card angel, Mom walked into the room. Lizzie rushed to her, hanging on to the hem of her shirt and poking out her tongue at Cove. Lizzie, Talia, time to get ready to go.
All right with that?
Sorry, you have to leave already, Cove. Their mommy said she'll walk you home, so you won't be left in the cold. Yeah, we can't leave a kid in the cold. Cove was still glaring at Lizzie, his face flushed red with anger. I can go by myself. But...
Bye.
Bye, Talia. There was still a harsh edge to the brief farewell, but you knew it wasn't you he was mad at. Without giving Mom a chance to stop him, Cove stood up and stalked out of the room, shoulders drawn tight.
Huh?
Okay? Worried, Mom turned to look down at you and Lizzie. You two were playing nice with your new friend, weren't you? Told the truth. We were playing pretend and things got intense. They were like cats and dogs. Your sister's jaw dropped, looking betrayed, as Mom put both her hands on her hips. Elizabeth! I told you to be kind to him. He's having a hard time right now. Lizzie's mouth closed back up, replaced by a tiny frown. I know, I tried, but he was...
Enough.
No buts. We both know you can show someone a great time when you put your mind to it. Yeah, we gon' snitch. We gon' tell Mom. Mom didn't raise no liar. We're going to apologize to Cove and his dad over the phone when he gets home from work tonight. Lizzie hung her head, dragging a foot across the ground in front of her. Okay, Mom. Good girl. You caught pieces of Lizzie sulking to herself about how it was his fault too, but it was over. Ah, right. We better get a move on.
Let's go.
Let's go, kids. Noelani, where'd you leave the car keys? Mom hustled you all out the door, and you noticed during the car ride to golf practice that Lizzie was quieter than usual. She was usually the first one to request which music to listen to in the car. She didn't say anything. Her parents noticed she wasn't in the mood to be bothered. They gave her space, and Mommy just asked you what you'd like to listen to. You pick your favorite song. It always made the car ride more fun. You choose the soundtrack to a cool movie you saw a couple months ago. You choose a song you knew Lizzie liked. Maybe it would cheer her up. I mean, we finally get our chance to listen to what we want to listen to in the car, because apparently Lizzie always picks the music, so I kind of want to choose our favorite song to make the car ride more fun. But also, I mean, I don't want Lizzie, in a foul mood all the time. But at the same time, I don't know, maybe as the younger sister, this is what she deals with all the time, like trying to compromise for her sister. So forget this, we're gonna pick our favorite song. Eventually, Lizzie came around and started singing along with you. Oh good, so it made her happier anyway. You both knew all the words, and your moms even sang along too. When the car ride was over, you spent the twilight hour watching Lizzie hit things with other girls her age. Yeah, it worked out in the end. You didn't know much about golf, but you could tell that she really liked it, so you sat with your moms and tried to puzzle it out. It was nice sitting outside after being cooped up in the house all day, and you stretched out your legs to let the last few minutes of sun warm your skin. When the sun was finally out of sight, dipping behind the horizon, you all got ready to leave. Instead of going straight home, your moms asked the family out to dinner. Your moms took the family out for dinner. You went to a restaurant you had all been going to ever since you could remember. Earlier, you'd only caught the tail end of your sister's argument with Cove, but you could kind of tell that all this helped Lizzie be less angry. The car ride home was quiet, with only the radio providing escape from silence. Lizzie had been in better spirits now, but the closer you got to your neighborhood, the more she wriggled in her seat and frowned out the window. She knew what was coming when you all got back. Clearly she was dreading it. Soon enough, Mom was turning onto your street, then reversing into the driveway. Once she cut the ignition, it was dead silent. No one spoke, only unbuttoning their seatbelts and opening their doors. Lizzie was the last one out. Once everyone was inside and done taking off their shoes, she propped her hands on her hips.
So,
Now then, Mr. Holden's car is in his driveway, so he should be back from work. That's good news, isn't it, Elizabeth? You and Cove can hash things out before the day's done. Lizzie didn't complain or put up a fight. Her head ducked so she didn't have to meet anyone's eyes. She nodded once. Good. Let's move this to the kitchen. Mom went over to the house phone, the rest of you following behind her. Mommy put a gentle hand on Lizzie's shoulder as they walked side by side. You watched them from the back. This was only happening because you told on Lizzie. We hadn't liked doing it, but we had to. Being a tattletale didn't feel good, and you wouldn't want someone else to tell your moms everything you did. Still, your mom had asked directly, and you wanted to be a liar even less. The four of you stood around the kitchen in a lopsided square. All eyes were on Lizzie, who kept her gaze at her feet. You remember the number You remember the number for Cove's house, don't you, honey? Lizzie jerked her head in another nod, sullen. Without further prompting, she stepped forward and began to dial. Mom reached over and pressed a button at the base. Suddenly, you could hear the phone ringing. She turned on the speaker. The phone rang a couple times, then stopped. Mr. Holden's warm voice came through the other end. Evening, Holden residents. Lizzie looked over at Mommy, unsure. She nodded encouragingly. Hi, Mr. Holden. It's, Lizzie. Can I talk to Cove?
Absolutely.
Lizzie Phelan? What a surprise! But of course you can say hey to the boy. He sounded cheery as usual, though definitely meant it when he said it was a surprise. You thought hard, and you were sure that your sister had never called Cove's house before. Mom spoke up before Mr. Holden or Lizzie could say anything more. Her arms were crossed over her chest, her lips pursed. Hi, Cliff, Nolani, Talia and I are here too. Good evening. We're sorry to bother you so late. Spoke up to say hello too. Hi, Mr. Holden. The gang's all here, huh? Is something the matter? His voice grew a bit concerned. Mommy was quick to reassure him. No, well, yes, but it's going to be okay. Lizzie and Cove got into a bit of a fight today. We were hoping that the two of them could talk and make up. Is this a good time for you and Cove?
What?
A fight? Cove didn't tell me anything about that when I came home. Does explain the funk he's been in tonight. He chuckled lightly. Despite that, it didn't seem like he really thought it was funny. Anyway, it's good. You didn't catch us at a bad time. I'll grab him for you. There was some shuffle on the other end. He must not have gone far because you could still hear him calling out. Cove? There's someone on the phone for you. After a beat of silence, there was more muffled talking from Cove's dad. Come on, bud. Lizzie called just so she could talk to you.
Are you sure?
Talia's on the other end listening too. Don't you want to say hi? It took a bit of back and forth, though the conversation seemed one-sided since she couldn't hear Cove properly. Eventually, Cove took the phone from his dad.
Hi.
Hello? Hey, it's Lizzie. Yeah, I know. My dad told me. Cove's tone was defensive. Lizzie turned to Mom, scowling. One stern look from her, though, and Lizzie turned away.
Sorry.
I just called to say I'm sorry for not playing nice with you today. I won't do it again. Lizzie's eyes were downcast. Her voice was low. You could tell she felt uncomfortable apologizing to Cove in front of everyone. She was still being genuine about feeling bad. Cove must have realized that too, because he sighed quietly. Okay, I guess I'm sorry too. A sense of relief washed over everyone at his acceptance of the apology. Mom uncrossed her arms while Mommy's shoulders relaxed. Lizzie's eyebrows raised up. You wondered if she thought that he'd refuse her apology. Dad, can I get off the phone now? You couldn't see him, but it was obvious that Cove felt awkward about the situation. He had come off uncomfortable the entire time, really. Yeah, you can go back to your room if you want. Be sure to say goodbye first, though. Bye, Lizzie. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Talia. You perked up at the mention of your name. You smiled, even if he couldn't see it. Bye, Cove. With that said, Cove must have handed the phone to his dad and left, since Mr. Holden spoke up.
That's a relief.
All's well that ends well, as they say. Thanks for arranging this. I'm sure he appreciated it. As Mom replied, Lizzie tugged on Mommy's hand to catch her attention. Can I go now, too?
Good job.
Sure, sweetie. Thank you very much for apologizing to Cove. Mom flashed a brief smile at Lizzie and nodded her agreement. Given permission to leave, Lizzie scurried off towards the stairs. She seemed to be feeling much better with the incident behind her. Mom and Mommy returned to the phone, taking it off speaker. They continued talking to Mr. Holden. You couldn't tell what about. You were glad that was the end of it all. Lizzie and Cove might not get along, and probably still won't, but they weren't mad at each other anymore. Mom and Mommy weren't upset either. Everything was finally back to normal. With that thought, you retreated to your room with a spring in your step. Man, I wish I knew how long each of these steps were. To know if it's worth saving these for the next stream, because usually my streams end at about 2 hours. So I imagine though, if they are as long as these were, then I should be fine finishing these 3 the next time I stream this. Those are all DLCs. like, do I save here and then... Because, I mean, let's be real. There's no way I'm going to push through and get through all 3 of them tonight. I have to work tomorrow. Okay, we will at least save that. Okay. Do we have autosaves? Oh, we do have autosaves. Nice. Oh, but the autosaves stopped autosaving like way back here. That's not helpful. Wait. Or, oh, they go this way. Okay, so this is our last autosave. Okay. So now we have like a manual save that's like after those. Okay. Oh, whoops. Okay, so yeah, I think we're probably, now that we've saved, they're probably going to end there. It'll be a little shorter than my normal 2 hours, but I feel like if I do the next one, that'll push it past my 2 hours. So we can come to just chatting for a bit. Wait. Okay, there we go. All right, we are all saved. So, what do we think so far? What do we think? Oh, my back hurts. Big stretch. I think this is a super cute game. I'm excited to keep playing. Like, this is so adorable. Also, I just realized in our menu, hang on, I'm gonna go back to our game for a second. In our menu, and we're only at step 1. I know, right? Yeah, this is gonna be a while, but that's okay because I needed something that kind of expanded some time. I'm gonna go back to our menu for a second. Is that what he looks like when he grows up? So cute! My gosh, like baby him is super cute, and then like bigger him is super cute too. Look at him. Look at him. Yeah, back to just chatting. But yeah, he's so cute. The only thing though is I'm afraid that if we go like down his route, right? Like then we are like cutting ourselves off of the options of anyone in the future, and I don't even know what any of the future like people possibly look like. So because we can't, like, if we go down his route, like they told us in the beginning that we can't like break up with him, so it's like we're committed, we're in it for the long haul. What I do wonder though is because it specifies that if we go down his route we can't break up with him later for someone else. What about the opposite? Like, if we don't choose him now, can we still choose him later? I don't know. In all honesty, I didn't read all the stuff at the beginning. I read what I read out loud and then kind of skipped over the rest. I like kind of speed ran and skipped over the rest. So I don't know. It's really a one-person route, so no harem ending. Is that what you're telling me? The other routes are DLCs. Oh, I see. Okay. So this whole game is just romancing him, essentially. And to get the others, we gotta do the other, either the other games or the DLCs. Gotcha. Okay. Oh, so this will be cute. It'll just be like their story. That's kind of precious. You couldn't be swayed, Cove had your heart. I mean, that's fair. He is so precious. And they have the cutest story so far. Like, kids growing up together. And depending on, I guess, how you interact with him, you could have all sorts of tropes in there. Like, you could even, I guess, probably kind of choose to do almost like a enemies to lovers, like do a little tsundere sort of thing. Yeah, and you can be friends or romance. Yeah, exactly. I will say, though, I'm still stuck on the fact that, to me, his dad does not look old enough to be his dad. His dad looks like, yeah, older brother at best. At best. Like cousin, I'm not even sure I could give, like, I would give uncle. Like, he's not old enough, I'm sorry. Like, they made him way too young looking to be like, oh yeah, this is this kid's dad. I'm like, that kid's older brother? That's Oni-chan right there. Like, yeah, I was like, whoa. Yeah, like, when you called him a DILF, I was like, what are you talking about, DILF? Oh, that's his dad. I thought that was just, I don't know, some random guy. Like, new neighbor, random guy. Like, I knew he wouldn't be, like, a romance option because, like, we're clearly supposed to still be children at this point in their lives, but, like, I was just like, in general, though, like, man, he's attractive. Yeah, he looks so young. I was like, whoa. Like, y'all didn't even attempt to make him look older. Because, like, well, I mean, I guess maybe it's possible that he's adopted. Like, I'm kind of assuming, like, me and Lizzie are. Like, it's possible that he could have adopted him. They had to have him young, because what exactly? That's why I'm like, is he adopted? Or maybe, oh, it's also possible. I doubt that they're doing this, but it is also possible that, like, what if Cove is his little brother that he adopted as his son? I feel like I'm getting into conspiracy theory land. But, you know, worth a try, right? Worth a try. You know, actually looking at, because I have, like, the game up on my other screen, because I have two screens now, guys. Exciting, 2 monitors, yeah, so I, like, get to look at two things at one time. But, like, looking at older Cove, I guess he's probably, like, what, teenage Cove in that picture? Older Cove looks like, if you've ever watched Fruits Basket, he reminds me of, Yuki. Can't wait for me to get to adult Cove. I wish that he would freaking brush his eyebrows. Why does adult Cove still have wavy eyebrows? I think maybe it's his hair though. Well, it's not even just his hair. It's like his build. His build reminds me of Yuki from Fruits Basket. Like, if his hair was white instead, or silver or whatever, instead of green, I'd be like, that's Yuki. But yeah, someone brush that poor child's eyebrows. Get him a little eyebrow brush. Fix him. Also, our moms are so pretty. I was like, our moms? Oh, moms. And then I saw them and I'm like, they're young and hot too. The eyebrows get you every time. Yeah, they really do though. Also, I just noticed, I want to straighten them. Yeah, for real. I just noticed that young Cove has glasses and older Cove does not. Does he start wearing contacts? Is he like trying to get his glow up on? And if so, his eyebrows should be part of that glow up. Yeah, I'm like, surely there's a way to straighten them or something. So freaking pretty, yeah. Like, well, even as a kid, he's adorable. So it's like, if you didn't grow up to be attractive, I wouldn't know what happened. Also, do we happen to find out how Cove broke his arm? Like, did he break it trying to escape to keep from moving here? Like, does Cove ever confide in us? Also, I love how quickly you came running when I said I was playing this game. It's like, stream starting. You show up in chat before they even, like, before there's even the chat message of like, oh, Talia's playing this game. You think so? Oh, good. I hope so. Because, I mean, they kind of make it a point of like, oh, he's wearing this cast, this, like, pink cast that they keep drawing attention to. So I kind of want to know what's up with it. Oh, you haven't played in a while? But this game is good. I like it. I like it. I like it. You love this game? With good reason. This game deserves love. And the music's so pretty, and it's just so, like, soft looking and, like, well drawn, and it's, yeah, I get it. I get the love for this game. It gives me, like, slice of life, but in a game. Yeah, literally, that's what the message was. I'm playing your game, you came running. I was like, dang, I've never seen someone jump into a stream so fast. How do you happen to know how, I mean, approximately how long this game is? Yeah, definitely slice of life. Also, we're gonna really hope that none of this music is, say, copyrighted, because I didn't actually look it up before I started streaming. I mean, though sometimes even if I do, I can't always find out if it is or not. "12 hours locked down on Steam." Yeah, it definitely is going to take me longer for the simple fact that I am reading it out loud, so then I'm reading it slower and doesn't sleep at night. Yeah, I'm like, I could probably, you know, like, I don't know, power through a little more if I didn't have to work, because then I could stream longer, or if I did the streams earlier. But people tend to like the cozy games at night, so that's why I stream it later. Because I guess I think like, people are gonna be resting and winding down, so they're more apt to just sit here and listen to me read for multiple hours. The rain was perfect, yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I really like this game. I will definitely come back to it. Because I try not to, I don't know, like it does definitely happen because I don't play a whole bunch of different games, but I try not to play the same game like too many times in a row. So like I try to like play it like every other game or something. But I can see why people buy the DLC for this game because you finish it, you just want more. Yeah. Maybe wait for a Steam sale or something. Or like if you're playing it on Switch, wait for a Nintendo store sale. I found someone on Twitch right now playing Our Life Beginnings and Always. So I guess they're playing the one after this. Like, I guess when people are older or if there are new characters, I don't quite know. But yeah, I might raid into them depending on what their raid settings are. I don't know what their raid settings are, so I don't know if I can raid them. But if I can, then you guys will go from watching this one to watching, I guess, what comes after. Oh, it's not on Switch? That's crazy. Creator said don't hold your breath. OMG. You want to play that one so bad? Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, it looks pretty cool from what I can see. At the same time, though, I'm like, I don't know, like, how much of it I'll watch, just for the simple fact that I'm like, I don't want too much spoilers. But I'm like, I'd be willing to, like, check her out to watch a little bit of it. It's the same, but a new place and a new character, I believe. Oh! New laptop? Yeah. Yeah, if I didn't have this set up, I wouldn't be able to do literally anything, so... Like, any of this, anything. Because my laptop would die. It would just die. It would not be able to deal. I think it's still in the early stage, so you'll wait. Yeah, I was like, dang, why'd you get me hooked on a game that I gotta go buy DLCs for and wait for stuff? Like, they're still coming out with stuff, like, actively. Like, how dare? You can get Steam on a Chromebook now? Oh. But, oh no, but your Chromebook isn't compatible. Oh, that's sad. Dang. That's cool though that you can get, Steam on a Chromebook. Well, I think I am going to possibly end here. I'm gonna see if I can raid this person, because it'd be cool to pop in and see, like, in case I don't get to play the, like, DLC, what it's like. So hopefully I will see you guys over there. If not, then I will, yeah. If not, then I will end here. Oh, look, we're raiding. Okay, so see you guys over there. Please read any of her chat rules before you start chatting. Bye.